Hello, my name is Sean. Welcome to the channel, and let's talk Porsche 911. Now, we all know the 911 is probably the greatest sports car ever created, and the latest version, the GT3, is probably the best non-turbo 911 we've had in years. We're talking 503 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds, and a top speed of 200 miles per hour. And when you're specing it from new, you can get it in 14 factory colors or 120 paint to sample colors. Configuration options for this car is plentiful, but it makes me wonder. We know how it's going now, but how did it start? I wonder what it would be like to go back in time and spec a 911 for the first time in 1964. Let's just imagine ourselves going back in time to 1964 and we're specking our very first Porsche 911. And back then, you only had one engine option, and that was a 2-liter flat plane 6 that only made 130 horsepower. That's right. The legendary first Porsche 911 only had 130 horsepower and a top speed of 120 miles per hour. Slow by today's standards, even slow by those standards. But Porsche did promise that there would be a 190 horsepower variant, which came about 3 years later. It is crazy to think that the GT3 has 373 more horsepower than the classic 911. But it does, and the classic 911's flat six was made it to a 5-speed manual. Now, I don't know how this manual drive. I'm sure it was an excellent driver's car for its time period. But story is the 911 from the 60s was a bit of a death trap. This car does not have the modern safety features as current 911, so some people would underestimate its driving abilities and crash because the car would get loose and they would not expect it. So yeah, that's a bit of a thing that was happening back when the 911 first came out. Oh, but I forget, this is a new car and we're in the 60s, so we don't know these things about this car. What we know is what colors we can get a 911 in. And here are a few of the colors that you can get a 911 in. You can get a 911 in slate gray, polo red, golf blue, light ivory, Bahama yellow, Irish green, sand, aga blue, and black. And of course, I'm sure y'all know me by now. I would have this car in the red. Now, the interior colors are less optional. There is red, black, brown, and beige. Now, my interior color of choice will always be a black, but brown would also be a pretty good color. But I don't have an actual diagram that shows me what this color looks like, so black would probably be the safest choice for a person like me. And here's a picture that shows some of the color options you can get on a 911 and 912 back in 1964. So here we have our 911 in red and black. So you're probably wondering what all this is gonna cost, and the price might surprise you. It's gonna cost around $6,490. That is $57,000 in today's money. So, yeah, the new GT3 costs about 3 times as much as a base 1964 911. That is really mind blowing when you think about it, how the prices have risen for 911. Now, of course, it's a more luxurious car and a safer car, so that price jump is kind of to be expected. Now, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't talk about the size difference. The modern 911 is about 2 feet longer than the classic and weighs over 1,000 pounds more. And actually, the classic 911 is a foot shorter than the Cayman, which is the smallest modern Porsche. and that is insane. And not only that, the Cayman weighs about 600 more pounds than the classic. People complain that 911s are just getting bigger and bigger as time goes on, and that is the case for a lot of modern cars. And that has more to do with safety regulations than the car manufacturers, because I'm sure they would love to sell you guys classic death traps, but they really can't do that anymore. And yeah, this is what we get. We get bigger, more luxurious, safer, driver friendly cars. It's just the way it is. And with that said, I like to bring us back into the modern era. I try to show you guys what it would be like trying to spec a Porsche 911 back in the 1960s, while bringing up factoid about what's different between the classic and the modern cars. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know this video is a little all over the place. This is kind of a first run at this. I'll figure out how I really want this to be. Later episodes, change up a few things, try different deliveries and things like that. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments. And with that said, I like to bring this video to a close. So if you like the video, like the video. If you dislike the video, dislike the video. If you want to see what I got planned next, come see what I got planned next. I got a lot in store for this channel. Really want you guys to be there with me. With that said, I'll catch you later.